Welcome back for another video. What are the top all-time managers doing for Gameweek 27? It was a roller coaster double Gameweek 26 with almost 1 million triple captains played. Arsenal defence disappointing. Andrew Moore is now the top ranked expert after scoring 75 points in the double, which took him to 560th in the world. He was unfortunate to have Chow on the bench there, but he did own Saar for that 13 pointer at least. Well played if you managed to beat the average expert score of 67 points. The overall average was 58 points last game week. For Gameweek 27, 68% are planning to roll, 21% making one transfer, 10% are making two, and one manager is making 3 moves. There's no wildcards or free hits this week, but we do have a couple of bench boosts activated, so we'll have a look at those shortly, and when it makes sense to use it in a single game week. So, who are the most bought and sold players this week by the top managers? Number 1 for Gameweek 27 is Thiago. Although he hasn't done that much as of late, the fixtures are just so good. He's got Brighton, Burnley, Bournemouth, Wolves, Leeds, Everton and Fulham. So whether you're going to wildcard in Gameweek 32 or not, he's perfect as a set and forget for a while. Hopefully Brentford's attack will be boosted as well by the return of Sharda, who's finished serving that 3-match suspension. Over the last 6 game weeks, Thiago is actually 3rd in the league after Bruno and Ekitike for non-penalty expected goal involvement. So he has underperformed, but the underlying numbers are good. Or he's actually 2nd in the league if you include penalties. He's had 1. Palmer's 1st on that metric with a couple of pens. I think 3 pens actually in Palmer's expected data. Rice is the number 1 most sold. It's job done, 14 pointer in the double. Only Hincapié scored more among the Arsenal players with 15 points. There's no harm in keeping Rice for the Spurs away, however, don't get me wrong, but 5% are switching him to Dango, 5% are looking at Semenyo, 2% are buying Ryan and 2% are buying Wirtz. Other mids that are being sold are Potts, Lefay, Tavernier and Anderson. If you've penciled in a wildcard in Gameweek 32, then these are the top players with projected points on FPL review between now and then. These are the players to look at if you want to maximise your points. So the list top down is Salah, Bruno, Haaland, Palmer, Thiago, Sharda, Wirtz, Ekitike, Dango and Bumo and Wilson. Dango's got the potential to be a great budget pick and he's the cheapest on the list as well at 5.8 mil. We're at that part of the season where every year there's always speculation on Ramadan's impact on players, especially when you look at some game weeks like Gameweek 29, like players are going to have to fast all day like Dango and Salah and then have to play at 8 PM. It's one of those, I just personally wouldn't give it too much thought. Historically, it's never affected Salah's output over the years, but it could lead to some early substitutions. If you're invested in Chelsea attackers, so Palmer, Enzo, João Pedro, then obviously it's an incredible fixture next. The best possible fixture based on Burnley's league worst expected goals conceded tally this season. And then it's literally the complete opposite with a fixture away against Arsenal. So that's the obvious selling point when the likes of Dango, Sharda, Wirtz and Ryan look great. Following the FA Cup results in the 5th round draw, Mikhail Tokvam has updated his projected fixtures for every team in every game week for the rest of the season, and this paints a really good picture of who's going to blank and double and where. So Palace, Man City, Arsenal, Wolves are scheduled to blank in 31. There's a very small chance that Palace and City don't, but it's almost a certainty. So Game Week 33 is the biggest double game week of the season, 27.5 projected fixtures currently. The likeliest teams to double in 33 are Newcastle, Palace, Man City and Arsenal. And then it's Liverpool, Brighton and Chelsea that have got a good chance. And whoever doubles in 33 will be expected to blank in Game Week 34. And this is why the free hit could be really powerful, because you can go all in on that double and then you end up with like say 7 players that are actually playing in 34. You can just free hit to get you over that week. In Game Week 36, the likeliest teams to double there are Man City, Burnley, Palace and Arsenal. About a 30% chance for the likes of Aston Villa, Spurs, Bournemouth, Chelsea and Liverpool. Game Week 33 could be a triple captain opportunity since Haaland would potentially have Burnley if he doubles, but the other game is Arsenal home, which isn't great. So holding out until Game Week 36 and hope for a City double game week there looks like the best play with a chip. I'll keep you updated with the doubles and blanks in the coming weeks anyway, so make sure you're subscribed. Speaking of chips, there's 2 bench boosts active this week. 76% have used their triple captain now, so 24% opted to keep hold of it last game week in the double, and they're going to be hoping for a nice City double game week later, which could be significantly better than Arsenal's double game week 26 if it drops in. Joe Jenkins has activated his bench boost and his team is Sanchez, Timber, Gabriel Munoz, Rogers, Palmer captain, Bruno, Saar, Robbie, Strand Larsen and Haaland, and he's got a bench of Kelleher, Mukiele, Hill and Zubamendi, and he shared some quick thoughts. As discussed in the last experts video, my wildcard plan was to bench boost this week, assuming there were no curveballs in the press conferences. I'm going to stick to this plan. The bench is Kelleher, Mukiele, Hill and Zubimendi. All 4 of these assets have shown in recent weeks that they're capable of a 9 or 10 pointer. If one of them achieves that this week, then I'll be looking at about 15 points, which I'll be happy with. My particular strategy for the blanks and doubles need me, after this week, to focus on a starting 11 only, and that needs me to start rolling transfers, so keep this in mind with this bench boost. It's very unique to my team and my strategy. I do not think this week in isolation is a great week to bench boost in FPL. Good luck all. Thanks for sending, Joe. Best of luck this week. And just quickly actually, honourable mention to Tom, or Gameweek Guru as well, from last week's video. If you recall, he's been going completely against the crowd. He wildcarded no Haaland a few weeks ago when Haaland was about 99% owned among top managers. And he's bench boosted last Gameweek with triple Wolves, 97 points all out. It's high risk, high reward going with a plan like that, and he executed it to perfection. So that took him from 53k to 6.8k in just 4 game weeks. 206 he finished last season, 3.3k the season before, and he could be on for another top finish. He's looking to get Haaland back in now if he's fit, which is fair enough. Like, it's job done. He's into the top 10k and you can build on that, and it doesn't have to be a long-term thing going against Haaland. Timing is everything though in FPL, and for every success story like that, there's plenty that went against the crowd and were massively punished for it. Speaking of Haaland, experts captaincy next, and he is top this week with 73% of the vote. Palmer's in second with 10%, João Pedro 9%, Bruno 7% and 1 Enzo captaincy. Haaland was photographed in training on Tuesday, so he's definitely back and available after that injury scare last week when he had to come off at half time and missed the FA Cup game. So that's reassuring. They're home to Newcastle as well, who had to play on Wednesday evening in Azerbaijan in the Champions League away. Gordon came away with 4 goals that match in the first half. If you've got Palmer, I think it's really hard to overlook captaining him against Burnley. Wolves have been really unlucky to have as few points as they have in my opinion, and Burnley for me are a worse team and they're the ones to target more. They've conceded over 10 expected goals more than Wolves, 15 more big chances conceded but only 1 more goal conceded. Who's your captain? I've put a poll up on my channel just now, so get your vote in after the video. So let's take a look at the experts team next, which is the 15 most owned players across the hundreds of experts teams. And the team is Verbruggen, Mukiele, Gabriel Timber, Bruno Enzo, Mbumo, Saka, Rodgers, Thiago and Haaland. It's a strong bench as well. It's Dubravka, Alderete, Anderson and Gue. Chalobah and Munoz are actually a few percent more owned than Mukiele, but you have to keep the team within budget. And Ekitike is at 47% ownership, so he's not in the team but really highly owned. In fact, he's actually a few percent more owned than Rodgers, but it's all about maximising percentage ownership. Gue is basically higher owned than any similarly priced midfielder. How many players have you got from the team this week? It's a very nice team on paper. Probably Enzo's last team in the side, but we'll have to see if there's enough sales next week before the Arsenal game. Like, you can make the case for benching him if you've got the depth next week and just hold him through to Gameweek 31. Forgot to touch on Hill actually, who's on this list here, and he's one of the most bought players earlier. He's returned in the last 4 game weeks in a row, Hill. 9, 7, 7 and 6 points. He's been hoovering up the DEFCON as well. Seems to be actually taking some DEFCONs from Senesi. He got 20 last game and then 13 before that, then 10 and 11. Only Van Dijk's got more points among defenders over the last 4, including Arsenal defenders who have played an extra game over the last 4 game weeks. So yeah, he looks great for 4 million. Their next 5 leading up into blank Gameweek 31 are West Ham away, Sunderland home, Brentford home, Burnley away, Man United home. Final thoughts from the experts. Here's what they wanted to say to you ahead of the Gameweek 27 deadline. Rafinha says, I'm rolling unless Haaland is out. If there's any doubt, then Haaland will become Haaland for me to afford Enzo to Salah next week, as I feel Salah is a huge differential for the next few weeks. Milko is looking at Liverpool as well. He says, I'm leaning towards Liverpool assets until wildcard 34, initially Verts, but now I'm more convinced about Szoboszlai. He looks like the most in-form player, even from the right back position. And to add to that as well, I was just reading the press conference notes this morning, and Slot had his at 9 AM, and he said that Gomez is ready to start, and he said that Frimpong is basically a near return, so we'll see Szoboszlai in a more advanced role as well very soon. FPL Verts says, the way FPL has gone this season, I won't be surprised of rebounding from a triple captain fell red arrow into a green arrow where I'm rolling. So last week of Enzo, and then it's into Ryan for me, so I can upgrade Mane to Thiago in Gameweek 28. Ekatike, West Ham and Thiago of Burnley. What could go wrong? And lastly, Munpal Man says, Gabriel goes down as the same bracket as Duffy for me. Remind me to never triple captain a defender ever again. Thanks very much for watching. The #1 all-time FPL manager Tom Dollyman will be back in the morning with his team selection video and his transfer plans for Gameweek 27. See you soon for the next one.